Good morning. It's another beautiful Saturday to talk about weddings. My name is Rona Capili Bonifacio. I'm the editor-in-chief of Inspirations.ph, and welcome to the Love Wins Live Forum. I believe episode 33.
That's right.
Good morning, Miss Sharon. Of course, with me is my forever partner for the Love Wins Live Forum, Miss Sharon Fabian, Managing Director of Themes and Motives.
Yes, good morning po sa inyong lahat and thank you for joining us again in another episode of Love Wins Live Forum. Tama nga po si Rona, it is our 33rd episode. But we are second season na natin to. No? We came back first weekend of January and look how fast time flies, Rona. Kalagitnaan na. Lagpas na ng gitna ng January.
It is. Grabe. Palapit na po ang February.
Valentine's Day. Diba? And those who are tuned in right now, or if you have just opened and saw us online, we are coming to you live from Facebook, Themes and Motives, and we are also broadcasting on YouTube, Themes and Motives TV. And we hope that you will join us in the next 55 minutes as we bring to you another insightful and informative and inspirational edition of Love Wins Live Forum. Yan. Exciting ngayong umaga, Rona, kasi literally, we've been saying because of yung naging development sa technology because of the pandemic, no? Naging wala nang distance ngayon.
That's right.
Yeah, I think for the first time, totoong nationwide tayo ngayon.
Yes. I'm so proud that we have brought together couples from all over the Philippines. Totoo po ang bali-balita. Bali-balita talaga. Pero totoo po ang sinasabi namin na, weddings are happening everywhere. From mula apari hanggang holo, as we like to say here in the Philippines. Everybody's getting married. Everybody is allowing their love to win. Tuloy po ang kasal. And so we have asked and we have invited couples, particularly, we made sure that we have a couple from Luzon, from Visayas, and from Mindanao. Kasi yun nga po, iba-iba po tayo ng experience, iba-iba po tayo ng reality, depending kung nasan po tayo, kung saan syudad po tayo. And so we've invited couples who have recently gotten married nitong this pandemic. And we are so happy to say, of course, they were able to have a safe celebration. Ngayon, alam ko, siguro marami sa inyo have been invited to weddings if you're not planning your wedding. And these are the questions that we ask, diba? Because we always see a lot of stories that, public gatherings might be not the best thing for you to do right now, or you yourself, you might not be ready. But these couples, they were able to celebrate beautifully, have a memorable wedding, and like we said, and we mentioned earlier, that they were able to celebrate safely. So yun ang pag-uusapan natin this morning. If you have questions, maybe you're attending a wedding, maybe you're planning, comment them down below so that we can ask our couples how they did this. Paano ba nila ginawa to make sure na lahat ng safety protocols are observed? Paano nila ginawa that there was nothing na lumalabag, kumbaga, sa guidelines na binibigay sa atin. All right? So also, you can share this stream, right? So send this to a couple who's planning their wedding, or maybe even celebration, whether it's a debut, an anniversary, christening. We know that this is going to be helpful for all of you who are tuned in and are planning your celebrations. Okay, so without further ado, let us welcome to the Love Wins Live Forum from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Ang sarap sabihin. All right, our three newlyweds. Okay, of course, we have Precious and Carmelo Tacolod from Davao, Jensen and Arden Fernan from Cebu, and Honey Lechan from Metro Manila. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, friends.
Hi, everyone.
O, diba? Everybody still has that newlywed glow.
Yes.
Let's
Okay.
narrow it
Siguro,
down.
yeah, before we start asking them questions, siguro we can go around and ask everyone, no, you can tell us, when was your wedding day? Para alam nila yung kung kailan kayo kinasal, where was your venue, and where was your reception venue. Yun muna.
Yes, let's start with the Tacolod. Tama ba pagkasabi ko? I hope I didn't murder your name.
Asadang venue.
Hello everyone. Good morning. I'm Precious
And
Carmela.
Carmelo.
Our wedding was December 2, 2020 and dito sa Davao City sa Dusit Tagi Benjar. We just occupied a restaurant and then doon na din kami nag-celebrate ng wedding namin. So isahan na lang po yung place.
Yeah. Sige. Precious and Carmelo, how can you say how do you say good morning? In ano?
Yung bunta.
Oh, yan. Oh, so totoo, from Davao sila, nasa Davao sila ngayon.
Yes.
Ayan. Sila Jensen and Arden.
Hi everyone. Good morning again. Thank you for having us here. So we got married October 10, 2020, about 3 months ago. We had it in his parents' house, in
our garden.
garden.
The celebration was there because it was we thought about it, and it was we actually booked a ballroom at first, but we figured it would be safer in an outdoor venue.
So we had to cancel all our plans pre-COVID and decided to have it in his garden instead.
Okay. Say hello to everyone in Cebuano.
Maayong buntag, ganin yung tanan. Kumusta?
Oh, same as the Davao.
Same.
Ayan. Oh, ito naman ang aming kababayan. Literal. From Metro Manila, representing Luzon. Good morning, Hanlet.
Good morning. For us, we had our wedding just this January 10, 2021. And we rented like an outdoor venue because I think it would be safer and more people would come if it will be in an outdoor venue. And yeah.
Okay. Ayan.
Yes. So, just to give a recap, no, everybody here had an intimate wedding. Okay, I reviewed. I know Carmela and Precious had 20 guests only. 20 guests lang, tama po ba? And Jensen and Arden had 36 guests.
Correct.
And Honeylet will tell you how many guests we had.
We had 60.
60, pero not all could make it. Tama ba? Parang may fall out, diba?
I think only 50 could make it.
Right.
But our venue was pretty big, so it could accommodate everyone.
Yeah. So, I know that for Honeylet, she only had 2 months to prepare her wedding. But for Jensen and Arden and Precious and Carmelo, sila yung mga kasama dun sa couples na may plano bago nagka-pandemic. Tapos, binaliwala nung pandemya yung plano nila. Binago po niya. Sabi po niya, bala kayo sa buhay niyo, mag-adjust kayo. Ako masusunod. Tama ba?
Yes.
Very true.
Yeah. So, again, you know, Precious and Carmelo actually also had to move their prenup shoot. So they were supposed to do it in Siargao, but they ended up doing it in Davao Oriental, somewhere na they could drive kasi nga it was too difficult already to fly. And for Jensen and Arden, like they mentioned, they have their church wedding, of course, but their reception, they chose to have it at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so yon. Those who have just tuned in, you are viewing us live on YouTube or on our Facebook page, and we are here with 3 different couples who have gotten married in the last within the last 6 months.
Yes.
So habang may pandemic and ongoing pa rin po yung pandemic namin. So last December, we've had a lot of couples who have gotten engaged, di ba? Kahit may pandemic, hindi napigilan ng pagpo-propose. So a lot of them are planning their wedding, starting to plan their wedding now. And we have actual couples that went through what you're going through. Pero nga sa kanilang challenge is they were planning pre-pandemic, I would suppose. Si Hanilet, I'm not sure kung may pre-pandemic plans ka kasi medyo January ka na, no? So this is why we invited them this morning so they can share with you. And this is talaga the real talk, di ba? Real talk, what an actual couple goes through as they plan and when they decide to get married during the pandemic. At talagang sila yung living proof that love wins and you can still have beautiful um, and safe weddings during this time. So, ang una naming tanong for all of them, okay, what was the original size of your guest list for
Let's start with Precious.
Our original guest talaga was 300 packs.
guests.
And then we are both real estate brokers, mga ahente kami. So we have a lot of friends, we have a lot of clients. So we already invited them and they were very excited. And then when the COVID hit, so parang we were very shattered. Pero we announced naman na they understand, our friends understand. Kasi we announced it on our Facebook. We send them messages na matutuloy yung wedding namin. Limit lang yung guest. So, yun, okay naman din. They were very understandable naman sa event namin.
si Jensen and Arden?
We originally planned about 500 up to probably 700 guests because this is the first wedding in his family. And plans changed. So a week before we were going to send out the save the dates, the lockdown happened in Cebu.
Yeah.
So we were prepared with all the printing and everything. But plans had to change from 500. We had to cut it down to 36.
Wow.
Yeah. At least naka-save.
Yeah. Talagang 10, parang less than 10% of
Yeah.
your guest list, di ba? Oo.
Did you, question, did you live stream your wedding? Kasi kayo, yeah, okay. You did. Precious and Carmela, hindi na? Nag-live stream pa ba kayo? No more na. And then Honey, hindi na rin, no? No more. Okay, so only Jensen and Arden did the live stream of your wedding because you originally wanted to invite a bigger...
Because we wanted to invite our family and friends all over the Philippines or abroad, but then we also didn't want them to feel bad, all those emotions in this pandemic. So we made sure that we
could let them be part in that
still
in that
be
way.
part in that
Yeah.
way.
And be safe as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yun. See, Honey, was this your the only reason why I'm asking kasi medyo later ka na in the game ng pandemic, di ba? 2021 bride ka na. Was this your original date, the January wedding? And was that the original size of your guest list already?
Actually, we only got engaged last November. And then they were asking us, I was asking my mother-in-law, because in Chinese culture, you have the thing called hodit, which is a lucky date. And originally, they said that it would be after my husband's brother's wedding. But when my mother-in-law gave us an earlier date, we decided to just take it because, we will save a lot and we don't have to wait that long because we actually don't know if there's going to be another lockdown or, what happens in the future. So we just decided to just go with it. But yes, this was our original date and the guest list. I'm so happy because, in Chinese culture, you invite so many people. And because of COVID, there's a positive pala for COVID. we only had 60 guests. So yes, that was a win-win situation for us.
So how did you guys decide, di ba? When you were trimming down your guest list, what was the criteria in able to come up with the short list? Diba? So, like sa inyo, Hanilet, yours is very recent. So, para maisip mo na nila Jensen, Arden, sila Precious and Carmelo. Ikaw, yours is pretty recent. And you know that you will be inviting just a few people. Ano yung checklist mo in your invitation list? Or how did you go about inviting your guests?
Actually, for us, it was really like the people that are close to us. Actually, Ate Rona was part of our wedding. She's one of our ninang, and we just invited a small amount, like immediate family. Actually, not all immediate family pa nga eh. Kasi diba some are not really like really close. So most of them really are people that we talk to every day or we share problems with, or I don't know, anything special siguro.
So people who are close to both of you and who have
Yes.
seen your relationship.
Yes, correct.
So, yun yung criteria mo when you drew up your guest list. How about sa inyo, Precious? Paano nyo trim down? But yours, you had 20, no?
Di ba actually may list na kami sa lahat ng guests. Then, pinili na lang namin yung kung sino yung mga close din namin. Like sa akin, ay mga friends ko na sa high school pa nakakasama. So yun, nasa 4 lang yung mga friends ko yung sa high school na invite namin din kay Precious din.
Oo, very close lang talaga, immediate family. Kasi sa amin, 20 guests na lang po talaga. So, very, very close talaga yung pwede namin
Pero yung capacity ng restaurant, more than 20 or more than? Kayo nag-decide nung 20?
Actually, dito po kasi sa city namin, basta mass gathering po, 25 lang pwede yung sa capacity na venue. Pero sali na sa 25 yung mga waiter at saka photographer. So, yun po, very po talaga dito. Yung city namin, isa sa number 1 din high COVID, yung maraming COVID. So, yun po. So, we just follow the guidelines protocols and yun na po. Okay na.
Yeah. I think Davao City was one of, in the early part of the pandemic, isa sa mga first cities ang Davao City that laid down their guidelines eh. Na parang sinabi nila, I think that was sometime April, they said, until December 2020, we are only allowing intimate celebrations, meaning 25 people in an event. And then you canceled all the public celebrations. Tama ba yun? So, nakatulong ba yung malinaw yung guidelines? Or it came out early? Did it help you in your planning?
Actually po, iba din kasi every parang week, another executive order. So kami ni Carlo very stressed din kasi parang we weigh down all the orders sa city kasi gusto namin nag-follow talaga kasi during our wedding, may magbe-visit din taga government to check also.
Ayan. Sorry, you were saying may magbe-visit from the government? Okay.
Check talaga.
Kung nagko-comply na hindi kayo lumalabas.
Yes, correct.
So, sa wedding nyo, was there somebody who checked?
Meron po. And then they will take pictures. Yun po. So, pati yung organizer, very sila din kasi yung parang lalapitan ng
Ng government.
Mm-mm.
Parang sila ang sisitahin.
Right. Okay. So, talagang, of course, we would always say here at the Love Wins Live Forum, please do follow all IATF guidelines when you are planning your wedding celebrations. And as we can see from the examples of the couples we have this morning, no? Talagang yan yung isa sa mga prioritize nila na gawin at sundin, just like Precious and Carlo did. Right? How about for Jensen and Aryan? I think the question goes to you guys this morning is how did you decide on the 36? The special 36 who got to go to your
56?
your wedding group chat, size ng group chat.
Well, yeah, it was basically our immediate family and our closest of friends also. We wanted to make sure that everyone we invited that they were also comfortable with going, as well as size that we could also that we were sure that we weren't violating any government protocols or so.
Right. So these are your family and friends also.
Yeah,
Yes.
the immediate family members who were in Cebu and a few of our closest friends.
So all the guests were from Cebu na lang because originally that in your write up you planned there were people flying in for
Yeah,
the wedding.
Supposed to, yeah.
like most of my bridesmaids were, or some of my bridesmaids were in Manila, some were in the States. So I had to like change everything. We had to
Yeah,
change
we had to
everything.
find a way to get them involved as well as keep them safe also, which is why we decided to put it live, put the whole celebration and make it live, so that the people who we planned to invite could also still participate in their own homes.
Yeah, because Cebu was one of the hardest hit. There was a
Yeah,
period na um, nag-lockdown ng Cebu no? Because talagang raging yung cases of COVID. Your wedding happened after that or during that time?
It happened during that time. So parang it was just ECQ, tapos nag-GCQ, tapos nag-MGCQ. Parang we didn't know
Yeah.
ano yung status sa Cebu na.
it was really
It
uncertain.
was super uncertain and we almost, I don't know,
But we never thought of moving the wedding. We just thought about working around the situation that was given to us. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sige. We'll get back to you later to talk about yung weddings in Cebu, no? We'll find out naman from Hanilep, yun, yung sa kanyang venue, no? I want to ask about the venue because they've touched on the venue already. Honey, alam ko yung venue mo. That's in Quezon City. And I
Yes.
know for a fact na isa siya sa mga napaka-strict na venues. Right now, when it comes to hosting weddings and social events, no? Marami talaga siyang restrictions. Ano-ano yung, and even if it's outdoor and malaking garden, ano-ano yung mga protocols that you had to follow because even if it's an open air wedding and reception?
Actually, when we met up with Light of Love, they said that we would have to wear masks. Everyone would have to wear masks. But on the day itself, our coordinator, they said that we need to wear face shields then. So I was quite bothered by it kasi I know the feeling of having a mask and a face shield and having makeup on. Parang, di ba, how would that work? And it was an outdoor wedding and walang aircon. So parang kami, paano yun? Di ba kawawa naman yung mga guests? Tapos meron pa mga like not so young people. And we were thinking, hala mamaya hindi sila makahinga or what, ganyan. So yun, that was a shock for us kasi yun nga, they told us to wear face shields, which on the meeting, they didn't say na we need to wear face shields during the wedding. And ano pa ba? Yun, social distancing, the chairs needed to be, I'm not sure how many meters, but it was quite far from each other. Nakulangan na nga yung decoration sa aisle. Kasi, yun nga, medyo malayo yung mga chairs. And then, but luckily, ako and my husband, we didn't have to wear a mask or a face shield. That would be, I don't know how would that look like in the pictures. Ano pa ba? I think that would be all. We also didn't have the veil, the cord, and like the sponsors. Parang our pastor, he said that it would be safer for us not to have them na kasi it would be more contact with the people. So we didn't have those.
So, tinanggal yung elements na yon
Yes.
in the wedding ceremony.
Yes, tinanggal.
How about the reception? You had it in the same place.
Yes.
Did you have a reception program? And what were the things that you normally would have done but decided na ito na lang ang gawin natin?
Actually, the reception, it was really like free flowing. Like everything planned what happened. But I think the thing that really affected our ceremony, our reception was the time. There was a 10:30 cutoff time, but we actually finished pretty early. So yeah, that we really took note. And actually, mahal din mag-extend. So sabi namin sa coordinator, okay, we have to finish by 8:30. And it was a Sunday, so we were thinking then of our guests because they have work tomorrow, work the next day. So yon. And I noticed nga na not all stayed. Kasi some of our guests were friends of my husband's parents, and the people who really stayed lang were the closest to us. So I think about halfway of the reception, you could only see like a few heads na lang. And seats, tables were quite far apart, so you could really notice. Not like kapag medyo siksik na talaga lahat, like the normal wedding, it would not really be noticeable. But since yun nga, you could see nga na the people who stayed were the closest na lang.
Actually, when we were coming into Honey's wedding, Honey and Chester's wedding, we had a personnel from the venue itself remind us to wear our face shield. So I don't know in Davao and in Cebu if you are required to wear face shields all the time, no? Because I think now that's the new guideline, di ba? Yung face shield, not just when you're entering an establishment, but as long as you're outside, di ba? So it wasn't their wedding coordinator who actually told us. Parang pangalawa na lang si wedding coordinator. The venue itself would not let us in if we were not wearing our face shields, apart from, of course, face masks are already given. So parang 2 layers of reminders of the safety protocols.
So this is a new guideline in Quezon City establishments, I would suppose.
I think all over
Manila.
NCR, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yung face shields, yes.
So even for private functions.
Parang as long as you're not in your house.
If you're out.
Kasi diba before, the face shield was, let's say you're going to the mall, you're going to the grocery, you put it on. So now, I guess even if you are, let's say, commuting, you're outside, the face shield is also now a requirement.
Oh, I see. Ganun din ba in Davao, Precious, Carmelo, with the weddings now, are they still very strict? Well, I would suppose, I think, kasi number 1 ata kayo sa COVID, yung top 3 list, di ba? And syempre, hindi nawawala ang city ko, ang Quezon City, nasa top 3 list ko lagi.
Yeah.
So how is it in Davao? You got married in September. Has the yung classification of quarantine, has it changed? Nag-improve na ba?
Sorry, yung internet ko talaga very slow po. I'm sorry, Miss Sharon.
That's okay. Ang question ko is, nag-improve ba yung, has it been
Problem.
relaxed in terms of yung sa weddings, as far as you know? Because I'm sure you know of people still getting married in Davao. So mas madami na ba ang pwedeng guest? Ano yung situation when you are getting married in Davao City right now?
Yun pa rin.
Still the same po. Very strict pa rin. I think until now, 25 pa rin po.
Ayan. So hindi nag-relax, no? Kasi kami sa NCR,
Hindi.
even if GCQ, pumapayag na ng 30% of venue capacity.
Yes.
However, the latest development as of yung last week natin na broadcast, hotels, you cannot have your celebrations sa hotels
Yes.
as per IATF. In Davao, is that the same thing? Davao City? O pwede ang hotel? In your case, sa hotel kayo, no?
Actually, okay lang. Pwede ang hotel, pero very strict yung guidelines. Limit yung guests, at saka, yun po, yung venue mismo alone, dapat konti lang yung tao, 25 packs lang, including the waiter, the photographer. So, until now, hindi kasi relax until now dito sa Davao. So, yun po. Buti pa sa
So
inyo.
ramdam nyo pa rin. Yun. So yung suppliers ninyo, if you only have 25 people, sino yung suppliers that stayed, na-retain doon sa original suppliers ninyo?
Yung
Photographer, yun lang po. Then, yung naggumawa ng cake namin, tapos
wala nang videograph.
wala
Yung
nang video.
wala na.
Kasi my video is from Jensan pa, so very far from that.
We are 3 hours biyahe from Jensen to Davao.
So wala na. Yun na lang yung supplier namin. 3 na lang. On the day coordinator. Photo.
Yeah.
Yun lang po.
So kasama sa 25. Okay. How about
Even
inyo?
Sorry,
Oo.
even if 20, I just want to highlight this, no? Even if they had the wedding of 20, they, Precious and Carlos still chose to have a wedding coordinator. So again, wedding coordinator is key, brides and grooms, so
Check.
that hindi po kayo malurky and to maintain your bridal glow on the day. Whether 200 or 20 ang guest list. But for Jensen and Arden, I think we were gonna go there.
Yeah, for you guys, how was it like? I mean, the situation when you got married, and is it still the same now in Cebu, or they've relaxed the restrictions a bit?
Well, being that we were the first wedding in our parish after the lockdown, it was still very the rules were still very strictly implemented. We had to have one door open in the church, which is the door at the end.
To make
and-
sure the ventilation was good.
Yeah. To make sure that the ventilation was like the air was going in and out. And although the capacity of the church was more than 36, we decided to just invite the same people who were going to the reception in the church.
And the guests still had to wear their masks and face shields. But we asked if they could at least, walk down the aisle without it. But once they sit,
They have to put it back on.
put it back on. Pang picture lang. Walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're showing some photos, and later on, nung iba rin, no? These are some of the photos that happened, yung actual wedding nila. Okay, so yan. So as you can see, it was a big church. Pero ilan lang yung tao
Yeah.
in the church. So I read the article, and you had a lineup of suppliers. Okay, pero for the benefit of those who haven't read the article yet, sa inspirations.ph, of course, guys, puntahan niyo po inspirations.ph and you will see more stories like this. Arden and Jensen, can you take us through who are the suppliers that you decided to retain dun sa downsized wedding ninyo?
So pre-COVID, we already booked our suppliers because it was a hot date, and we made sure we could book all of them.
Yeah.
So some pa nga were based in Manila. Those we had to cancel. So for sure, we made our wedding planner stay, our photographer, and
We got a videographer.
a videographer here na lang in
in
Cebu.
Cebu.
So we had to let go of the one in Manila, and
The catering.
the live
Yeah,
stream,
live
the
stream.
technicals. We basically booked them through COVID already, so we had to make do
Yeah.
of them.
What was?
Okay. And how was the, syempre sa church, you pretty much set yung flow ng mass, diba? But how was the reception like for you guys? Ganun pa rin ba ka-strict because it's in your home, it's in your backyard? O meron din mga surprise visits ba ang Cebu local government officials sa mga ganyan?
Well, our planner was very strict. So it started with that. So even if we wanted to beg, please extend or please make room for a few more people, ayaw talaga niya. So it was helpful naman for us. It was easier for us to decide
And like we had, of course, the temperature checks and
upon
upon
entry.
entry, we had alcohol everywhere. We gave them special
Kits.
kits with alcohol, with their own alcohol, so
Face
they didn't
masks,
have to.
alcohol.
Yeah, so they didn't have to go back to the alcohols all over the place. We had our utensils and glasses
And plates.
and plates wrapped in cling wrap. Yeah, and we didn't have a buffet. Also, we decided to change that so that to minimize
Contact.
physical contact. Yeah.
We opted for a sit-down plated dinner, and wala nang mga picture-picture with the bridesmaids and groomsmen post-wedding, church ceremony.
Okay. That time you were still in GCQ when you got married.
If I'm
Yeah.
not wrong, yeah,
Mhm.
we were still
Yeah.
in DPU.
Ano na ba ang Cebu ngayon?
Tumataas na ulit
Ulit?
yung COVID
Yeah.
cases.
Now.
Again, so we're back inside our homes. We're limiting all our grocery runs and unnecessary, non-essential errands. But compared to the time we got married, October, parang we got so scared that we couldn't even get through kasi our church was on the other end of Cebu.
Yeah.
So we were super parang uncertain of what was going to happen.
And you mentioned na stress kayo. What got you through that time? I'm sure you were both stressed, but how?
Konti naman.
Well, we just really didn't want to move our wedding, and we realized that what was important at the time was each other, and like that we just wanted to go through it so we wouldn't delay any of our plans. Yeah.
Parang kamot may basta we get married, whether we have 300 or 10 guests lang, basta we get married.
That's good to hear. Kasi, 'di ba, yun yung tanong namin palagi. Na why did you decide knowing that pandemic talaga, 'di ba? And they're saying na in a couple of months baka may vaccine na, but what made you decide to get married right there and then or right now in the case of Honey? 'Di ba? So that's good to hear knowing that you were focused on your goal to be together with God's blessings, no? I mean, legally na mag-asawa kayo. Was that the case for you, Honey? Because you just got engaged November.
Yes.
Diba? Was that lalo na ikaw, because diba November may chismis na, usap-usapan na ayan na ang vaccine, parating na ang vaccine. Bakit naisip niyo, ayaw na namin hintayin, magpapakasal na kami?
Yes, that was the case for us also, I think. We just wanted to get married na. And feel ko kasi if we postpone pa, baka mag-lockdown ulit. And even pag lockdown, wala na ring civil or whatever wedding we can do. Hindi naman pwede online. So, yeah, we just decided. And it was definite na pagka 2021, after Chinese New Year, we can't have our wedding na kasi or it would be sukob. I think that would be the term with
Yeah.
my husband's brother. So we really had no choice but to go on with the date that my parents gave us. So our parents gave us. So yeah, that was the case also.
So in your case, well, I'd like to, syempre, parent ako, no? You were also wanted to honor yung desire ng parents, like in your yung tradition, the Chinese tradition na you really pick out a specific date, or dates na good dates for you to get married. Even if you're napakabatang generation, yun na, you still honor the tradition, no?
Yes, of course. You
Ayan.
don't want to pick up on fights just because of them. So I think you should just yeah, follow.
Was it difficult? Si Jensen and Arden are also Chinese couple din yan eh. Was it difficult na it's a pandemic, but you also have to do a balancing act between there's a pandemic, you have to follow protocols, and you have to observe yung yung old traditions. Was it difficult? May konting challenge balancing all that together?
Sorry. Well, on our side, it wasn't. I mean, we don't really have those like traditions anymore. I don't know. We don't really practice those same ones.
Our parents gave us the freedom to
Yeah.
just do what we wanted to do. And we both agreed on our parts that, this is our wedding. It's about the both of us. We listened to our parents, but at the end of the day, pag okay kaming dalawa,
Yeah.
okay lahat.
Yes.
Yeah, so yung family nyo hindi masyadong traditional, I mean, in that sense, yung mga Chinese tradition.
No, we're not really. We don't really have those like those traditions. I'm not even familiar, actually, to be honest. Like,
Maybe
with some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bakas behind our backs, nagpa-secret check na
But
lang
maybe,
our parents.
yeah.
But not they weren't meddling naman with our plans.
Yes.
Yeah, because there was one couple that we had, remember, Miss Rona, no, guest namin, and yun nga, they had to observe the dates. So na-push, tinamaan yung engagement na tinghon, at tatamaan din yung gusto nilang wedding date. So finally, when they found a good date na na-identify nila because of the tradition nga, ginawa nila in one day, tinghon in the morning and wedding in the afternoon. Diba? And it was really born out of the desire to honor the parents' wishes and tradition, which is also very good, no? In the case of Honeylet, kahit na modern sila mag-asawa, but and kahit na may pandemic, they still chose to respect the wishes of the parents. Ayan.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the additional stress factors, no, when you're planning a wedding. I mean, what I mean the additional stress factor is the COVID part, because balancing tradition and balancing what both families desire or their idea for the wedding of their children, and then throw in, of course, the curveball that is IATF guidelines and a virus. No, so we know that it's challenging for all of the couples, for really for anybody who wants to celebrate these days. It's a challenge, but just seeing these couples and all the couples that we've actually featured, whether on inspirations.ch or even here on the Love Wins live forum, what we've observed or what we have learned from everyone is wala po talagang nagsisi na hashtag tuloy ang kasal. Everybody was so happy that they did it.
Yeah.
Okay? And because I said that, you guys can't say no. No, but
Yeah. Actually, Rona, ang sarap picturean, ang sarap mag-capture ng screen natin ngayon. Because the brides natin, the newlyweds na ang ganda ng ngiti nila. Di ba? Diba? Parang, yes, hindi ako nagsisi. I'm glad I didn't wait.
Yes. Diba? So again, we hope this is an inspiration for all of you planning your wedding, and kung nagdadalawang isip kayo paano ba namin gagawin or can it be done, these three newlyweds are living proof that it can be done and it's worth all the trouble.
Yes. And I'd like to also point out that regardless of where you're at right now, even if you're in the Visayas or in Mindanao or in the NCR, in Luzon, no? Pare-pareho ang dinadaanan ninyo. Couples all over the country are going through the same thing. Kung sa tingin ninyo, well, of course, because I am based in NCR and the couples I get to talk to, taga NCR, ang ano nila, especially now, no, Miss Rona, now in NCR, medyo may mga changes na naman ulit. And ang feeling nyo, ano ba, pabago-bago, and we have to keep adjusting. Or if you're in Davao, ang feeling mo, ang strict naman, kailan ba matatapos to? You are not alone.
Yeah.
Couples are experiencing this, and if it's any help, and we really hope na na-inspire kayo, because these are couples from different parts of the country. Na-stress, nagulo ang plano, nahirapan, natakot baka hindi matuloy ang kasal. But at the end of it all, they push through with their plans. Talagang pinatunayan nilang love wins in the end. And they were able to do it too. Yun. We asked them, tama ba, Miss Rona? We asked them to give us their top 3 tips, no? Which is, ang bilis ng oras. Kasi ano na lang, no? Patapos na tayo, mag-1 hour. So, top 3 tips, what they have learned and what they would like to share to those who are now preparing to for their wedding. Okay, so we will take a break because Rona will interview them one by one sa kanilang top 3 tips nila. And of course, we encourage you to go to inspirations.ph because you can read all about their beautiful stories. No? Ang maganda naman, di ba, i-flex ko lang si Miss Rona, ang maganda po sa kanyang inspirations.ph articles. Of course, you draw inspirations from the beautiful photos, di ba, yung mga palette, yung mga design ng gowns, yung setup ng wedding. But it is also the platform where couples get to share their experience and inspire others. Ano yung pinagdaanan nila. So you can read about the story of Jensen and Arden, of Precious, Carmelo and Precious, and Chester and Hanilet. Wala lang si Chester this morning, but you can read about their story. Pati nga ang engagement, tama ba? Yung kila Precious, ang ganda po. Make sure you look for that. Ang kanila napakagandang prenup, nag-surf po sila. Yeah. Go to inspirations.ph, read all about it. So, yeah, Miss Rana will show ano lang, ano bang ano natin. Next, you'll show a short video, and then we get back to the 3 couples for their top 3 advice.
Yes, the short, yes. All right.
Ayan. So, actually, the short video is, we'd like to invite you. There's an ongoing bridal fair. If you notice, all 3 couples decided to retain most of their suppliers, at least the critical ones, the coordinator, the photographer, of course, the food, no, the caterer. So for those of you who are still planning, there's an ongoing online bridal fair, and start po to ng the Bridal Marketplace Caravan. So themes and motives ang unang fair, and next month we will have Cagayan. So nationwide po tayo will have Cagayan to follow, and then next up would be Baguio, I think, in March. So now until the 31st, we have the bride and groom blowout, and this is a short video clip of the suppliers that you can find in the online bridal fair. Yeah. So that's it. Please visit the online bridal fair ongoing yan until January 31st. www.themesandmotives.com. There. So balik tayo sa couples
Yes.
at ang kanilang tips for those who are planning, preparing for their wedding day. Ayan. Sino unahin mo, Miss Rona?
I think the winner is Jensen and Arden. I think if I'm not mistaken.
Ayan.
Yan. All right. We already asked them their tips, no? So I think this is the first. Tama ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
Set ground rules for suppliers and guests. And I'm gonna guess that this is probably from their very strict wedding coordinator.
Very. Miss Stans Catalan.
Yeah.
Hello,
Big thank
if you're
you,
watching.
Miss Stans Catalan. For,
Shout out, please. Yeah. Kung gusto niyo po ng somebody who's gonna lay down the law, I think if your family and friends need it, it sounds like she's the place to.
yeah. At the same time, make it easier for us. You know, she made it really easy for us. She helped us set these rules and guidelines, of course, to our suppliers and guests to ensure all of our safety, of course, during the event.
Since we had about 36 guests lang, so she reached out to most of them and
If not
briefed, if not
everyone.
everyone, she briefed each one of them about the rules for the church and for the reception.
So siya yung nag-set ng ground rules. So importante, no? Importante you set the tone from the get-go. Yeah.
Well, she discussed it with us first, and then
With her parents as well.
with our parents, and we, she also had to let us know first beforehand, like what do we think about this, what do you think about that, and then we found a way to make it all work together.
All right. And then,
So set ground rules for suppliers and guests. Number 2 is, of course, keep it intimate.
Yeah, well, because of the pandemic, because we were limited to who we could invite. Because of course, if we could, celebrate with more people, it would be better for us, and we would love that there would be more people. But just to keep everyone safe, just to keep our environment controlled as well, we also realized that the most important thing was us and our immediate and closest family members and friends.
So we kept it intimate with our guest list and our budget as well. So para balance.
Yeah.
All right. And the third, of course, is practice safety protocols. Okay. And I think this is a tip wherever you are, even if you're not at the wedding.
Yeah.
Please practice safety protocols. But of course, this is their third tip.
Yeah. Well, our immune system is our best defense. But next to that, we had to make sure upon entry, we had a temperature scan, we had all the alcohol sanitizer thing.
Yeah, and we wanted to control the flow of people, like with our suppliers and our guests, that like less physical contact was what do you call that? Like we had to plan the whole
Like the
flow.
floor plan, the flow of your
Yeah.
room.
So
Yes, the
people
flow.
assigned to the food should just be stationed at the food. People assigned to welcome the guests should just be at the guest. So para walang cross
Yes.
contact.
And they had
whatsoever.
their own areas to prepare and their own restrooms and everything. So just to minimize the
Para if something happened, which thank God wala, it was easier also to trace. That's
Right.
why I wanted to make sure kung sino lang yung nandito, yun lang talaga
Sila
sila.
lang siguro. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. All right. Thank you so
All
much,
right. Thank you so much.
Jensen and Aryan. Of course, now we're going to go to Precious and Carlo, who also had an intimate wedding of just 20 guests at Davao. Sorry. Here you go.
Ayan.
This is their wedding video. Oh, sorry, the photos of their wedding. But I'm gonna go to their tips, right? So limit your guest list is number one for Precious and Carlo.
So, it is very important that alam niyo po kung sino po yung guest niyo. So, the coordinator also know and very easy to track. And then, also, pag maliit lang yung guest mo, ensure natin sa place mismo yung social distancing, yung physical distancing.
Okay. Number two, of course, is ensure a clean and sanitized venue. And I think this is also the advantage no of Precious and Carlo. Hindi na nila masyado kailangan i-worry yon because they had it at a venue where at a hotel in Dusit Tani, and of course just the restaurant. So that's already part of, I'm sure that's part of their SOP, di ba? Ngayon, part na ng standard operating procedures ng lahat ng venues ang sanitation. Tama ba?
Yes,
Tama.
correct.
So in your case, they had to sanitize before your wedding.
The organizer must ensure also that the venue is really, disinfected and sanitized before and after po.
Right. So again, unlike before, nasanay tayo na there is an event this morning and then meron na naman po sa hapon and then meron na naman po sa gabi. Medyo hindi na po siya nangyayari ngayon, no? Because we have to consider sanitizing in between uses apart from, of course, yung labas-pasok ng tao. So, I think that's something na we saw in Precious and Carlos' wedding na
Yeah.
again, I'm going to plug and flex. If you visit inspirations.ph, you will see their wedding at the Benjarong restaurant of Dusit Tani. And you'll see na talagang it was just for them. Okay,
Yeah.
and number three, of course, is provide each guest with a hygiene kit. So while you're saying this, bago nyo kami kwentuhan, I'm going to allow your photos to play so that we
Yeah.
can, so that the guests can, our viewers can see. But please tell us about providing a
Hygiene kit.
Is that
Oo.
something
Anong laman ng hygiene kit?
Oo.
Upon entering the restaurant, guests, we prepared hygiene. It includes yung tissue, sanitizer, alcohol, wet wipes, and then a new face mask also para kung gusto nila mag-change, hindi na sila tatayo or lalabas pa. So, yun po. Happy naman sila kasi at least may kit din sila na sarili na parang nagpaparamdam kami na importante sila for us, and then hindi na sila mahahassle po.
Right.
So that also, did that serve also as your souvenir na para sa wedding?
Different po yung
Iba din
souvenir
yung souvenir.
namin.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yung hindi po nakapunta na principal sponsors, actually we have 20 principal sponsors. So we gave them a different souvenirs, and then yung guest din natin during iba din po yung souvenir po.
So on top of your souvenir, talagang may pa-hygiene kit kayo.
Yes
Yun,
po.
meron.
Ano din siya required sa city namin, parang required kit po. So we need to provide the hygiene kit po talaga. It's a requirement po.
Okay, so yan, tip yan for couples getting married. If you're from Davao and you're watching, you have to have a budget for hygiene kits kasi part of the local government requirement for people who are hosting events, weddings, dapat may hygiene kits kayo i-distribute sa mga bisita.
Yan. So,
And then-
as you... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, President.
Tip lang din po sa, upcoming couples natin na who plans to get married. Regarding sa hygiene kit, kami lang din kasi gumawa with the help of my best friend. So, bumili kami ng yung parang 2 liters, 1 gallon na alcohol, and then bumili kami ng mga parang pang-spray. Then kami na mismo yung nag-pour po ng alcohol sa parang bottles po. So, mas natipid kami.
Oh, yes. Tama. And you can even personalize those, di ba? Kasi kung bumili ka sa labas, meron siya nung brand, but at least it's another way for you to show your guests na importante sila sa inyo, di ba? Nauuso yan ngayon yung mga may pangalan mo dun sa alcohol mo.
Nalagay na just printed it.
Yes. And if you see in their wedding photos that we flashed earlier before we go to Honey's 3 tips is kahit 25 lang ang allowed sa kanila, you will not notice in the photos that it is a wedding that can only have 25 packs, including all your suppliers. And I think what they were able to do, correct me if I'm wrong, is yung mga suppliers na kinuha nila, yung mga suppliers na hindi kailangan mag-stay. So, halimbawa, yung event stylist, pwede siyang mag-set up, so napaganda niya, pero after nun, they can leave. And so they have this beautiful setup. Tapos hindi na siya kasama dun sa 25 na head count, di ba? Or the cake. Pag dinala yung cake, dun na, iwan na yung cake. Tapos alis na siya, di ba? So, ang the ones that they, that again, they said that na pinili nila to stay was the photographer and of course yung food.
And the coordinator.
Ayan. So, sila po yung hindi, they chose to keep and to make sure we're with them for the 25 packs limitation. Okay, so of course, Honey's wedding in January. And here are the photos. And of course, Nibi says hello. Nibi is watching us this morning, your makeup artist.
Hello, Nibi. Bumati nga pala siya.
Yes. Okay, so first, I think of Honey's tips while we're watching her their wedding is that the coordinator should always remind guests to wear their face masks. And I think her tip is to do this via voiceover kasi nga, nagkakalimutan po, lalo na naman kung magkakaibigan, magkakapamilya, matagal po kayong hindi nagkita. I think that's what I can share, It's the experience I've been to 2 weddings in this past week is there's really a longing, syempre, right? If you see your friend for a long time, it is very easy talaga to forget those safety protocols. So, yun ang number 1 tip ni Honey is, again, have your coordinator voice over the reminders of the safety protocols. Sige, tell us more.
Honey, before you answer, I remember reading somewhere that you didn't really intend to have a coordinator. But it turns out number 1 tip mo is your coordinator should be reminding. So, was Was it worth it? Kasi I'm sure hindi lang yun yung mga nire-remind, no? Marami pang Was it worth it having a coordinator?
Yes. To be honest, I think that's the number one supplier that you need to get, especially during the wedding date. Because I don't think I would have survived if I didn't have a coordinator. I mean, I would have to think of so many details, which would be, I don't know, mortifying, I guess. And it would stress me out, so I would not enjoy, the day. So, yes, get a coordinator, guys. And shout out to my coordinator. He was all I sourced her via Ate Rona. I think she was a guest here in Themes and Motives. So
Yes. So Miss Marge of Events Republic was one of our guests in a previous episode. Ayan. So
Yeah.
Miss Marge was the
actually,
coordinator.
she was very nice, and we can trust her with so many things. And I really loved my best friend. You know your best friend on the day.
Yung
Yes,
shadow ng bride.
Yeah,
is
your
that
shadow. Yes. I call her my best friend.
Mhm.
So
Literally,
until
no?
now, on the day
Yes.
coordination still has a shadow for the bride.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think si Arden was also saying that, no? Talagang they were very lucky to have Stans, no? As the coordinator kasi yun yung anchor nila on that day when there were so many things that you had to take
You
care
think
of.
you're not missing out on anything, and then here comes our planner. Meron pala. So thanks to her, thanks to her team, everything was covered.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, also with the planning, I guess. I mean, there's so many details that I didn't know I needed. And there was this time where our coordinator sent us with Word files of the things that we needed to fill up on. I was like, there's so many. And this is so much. Kasi parang you have to take time. And you have to get all the numbers of your guests and stuff like that. And I didn't, you wouldn't think about those things. So you really need a coordinator talaga.
Yeah. So yan, ang important tip number 1, talagang kailangan ng coordinator, especially on the day itself, to remind people to wear their mask, face mask. Tip number 2, honey.
Tip number 2. Yeah.
Ayan.
I think, yes. Ay,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I think psychological siya. Like, if you see an alcohol bottle, you just have to do it. So, that's one of the tips that I have. Like, place it everywhere on the every table that, they can see. So, whenever they see the alcohol, they just sanitize their hands. Yeah.
So they made it easy again, just like Jensen and Arden and Precious and Carla. They made it super easy for you to keep your hands clean. Of course, I think for most of us, no, hindi na po tayo lumalabas ng bahay na wala tayong dalang alcohol. Diba? It's one of those things that, oops, I have to go back inside because I left my car keys or my house keys. Pero pag alcohol ngayon, binabalikan na po natin yung bahay natin kasi naiwan natin, diba? Unlike before. So, but if you are hosting an event, this is just one of those things that you can also do to make guests feel safer and know that you care about them. All right. And number 3, I like this tip. Take vitamin C, sleep well, and eat healthy. And honey, let advises this, especially before your wedding. Why is that?
I think prior months before the wedding, just have to, have a good body to, if for example, my COVID, you can battle the COVID, I guess. Yeah. Because for us, diba, there'll be like photo shoots with the guests and there'll be masks off. Even if sabi nila, diba, you have to be in contact with someone 15 minutes before you get the virus. But I think, I don't know. We don't know the virus, I guess. And if the virus is strong and your body is not strong and not prepared to battle the virus, then yun, lost cause na. So, months prior, you have to take care of your body.
Right. That's a really great tip, no? I think number 1, ayaw natin na you can't go to your own wedding because you got sick. right? And that's something that brides and grooms also kind of forget. Kasi syempre you're so busy. You're so busy trying to put things together na, and we're very used to yung, sige, I'll sleep later, or, you know, I'll adjust this, or ganyan. You'll sacrifice your physical health because you're trying to stage your wedding. But again, more than ever, it is so important to stay healthy and stay safe. And that's a good point, no? For brides and grooms, you actually are the ones who will probably have your masks off more than others. Now, of course, this is up to you because there are some couples who also keep their masks on, diba? They will remove it for photos and then keep it on during the ceremony. It's up to you. But yun nga, it's a reminder that actually you are the ones who will have your mask off majority of the time during your wedding. So
Yeah.
prioritize your physical.
Health, yes. Hindi lang sa wedding yan, hindi lang sa couple. Paging wedding suppliers, alam ko po, we're navigating through challenging times. At mas mahirap ang trabaho. Please do not forget about your health. Reminder yan for couples and wedding suppliers alike. Take your vitamin C, make sure you get enough rest. Note to self ko yan, sleep well.
Oo,
And eat healthy. Yan.
hindi na po, I think the thing is, hindi na po uso ngayon yung yung you keep pushing your body to the limit. Yung you sacrifice your rest, you sacrifice your sleep, you sacrifice your good eating habits, no? Because now more than ever, all of us have really come to the realization that health is wealth, and everybody's health is just as good as yours. So that's our tips from our real
Real
couples,
couple.
our newlyweds, again from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and for inspiring
Yes.
us soon to wed.
Yes, we really appreciate na. Yeah, we really appreciate that you took time to be with us, and you've been very generous because you've already shared your stories, the inspirations. But now you're actually here, and we look forward na sana no someday we get to meet all of you, all of you personally. Yeah. So thank you so much. Yeah, say goodbye to them.
Yes.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks. See you guys next week again, same time, same channels. And we're cooking up something to inspire you again to hashtag tuloy ang kasal and to do it beautifully and safely. Diba? Because love wins.
Yes, and don't forget to please visit themesandmotifs.com for the bridal fair of the Bride and Groom Blowout 2021. It's still ongoing until the end of the month. And if you've listened to our couples and nakita niyo po ganong ka-importante yung mga suppliers na pinili nila, no other place for you to get it and to book them but at themesandmotifs.com.
Rons, meron kami exhibitors live mamaya.
Yes.
We will get to see the exhibitors live, virtual live kami, streaming also here sa YouTube and here sa Facebook. So that starts at 2 in the afternoon. Hindi lang nila makikitang live ang mga exhibitors. May bonus tayo, Ronas. By watching it, simply by watching, you can get the chance to win exciting prizes for your wedding. Parang yung ginawa natin, no? Last episode natin for December. Yes, the Christmas episode natin.
So set your alarms at 2 p.m. Tama at the Facebook page of Themes and
Yes.
Alright.
Meron tayong prenup, photo shoot, up for grabs, a beautiful bridal bouquet from Jo Claraval, and of course, meron tayong gift from New World Hotel and City of Dreams. Those are the major prizes and a whole lot more. So please join us later at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
We'll see you again next week here, same time, same place for the Love Wins live forum. Happy Saturday, everybody!